Hello and welcome back. You're watching Business Arena here on TVP World. I'm your host, Aleksandra Marhevich, and these are the latest business headlines. The OECD has just released its economic survey for Poland for this year. And according to this report, Poland has been one of the OECD's top performers, but there is still a lot of room for improvement. Our reporter Konrad Gurliński has more.
We're at the Warsaw School of Economics today, waiting for the release of this, the OECD's Economic Survey for Poland 2025. And what's the diagnosis? Well, Poland has received many words of praise, and that from the OECD's chief economist, Alvaro Santos Pereira.
First of all, Poland is one of the strongest economies, not only in Europe, but also in the OECD. We forecast growth of 3.4 this year and 3% next year. So we're talking about very robust economy. In particular, when we see the core of the European Union not doing very well, either stagnating or growing 1%. So it shows very well that Polish economy continues to be very resilient and strong.
Well, that's all good news, but there's always a but. And there are still many challenges ahead for Poland going forward.
There's two or three issues that is important to keep in mind. First of all, because you have a large fiscal deficit, thanks to the energy supports and the family supports and all the supports that you had, which, they're expensive. It's quite important, even though debt's still low, but is growing fast. And so it's very important to implement the fiscal adjustment that the government is planning to do.
Well, the IMF, in a recent report, presented their opinion of the Polish government's roadmap to controlling the deficit. We took the opportunity to ask the counselor to the OECD's chief economist what he thinks of the roadmap that was presented by the Polish government to control the deficit.
So we fully support the government plan, the plan starting the consolidation in 26. It's an ambitious plan. The details will have to be ironed out. We're waiting for some details. We provide some recommendations which spending has to be reviewed, has to be reevaluated. We also recommend reviewing spending, both its necessity but also its efficiency in achieving the objectives. And equally on the tax side, looking at some tax items that can be increased to help raise revenues, bridge some of the gaps in the tax system.
Well, in terms of the challenges lying ahead for Poland, Tomasz Kozlak summarizes them in what he calls the 4 Ds. That, of course, is the deficit. And then there's demographics, digitization, and decarbonization. We'll have a chance to discuss all of those with the author of the report, Zuzanna Smidowa, later on The Bottom Line. I'm Konrad Gurliński, reporting for TVP World.
And as Konrad mentioned, the OECD latest report offers fresh insights into how Poland can tackle healthcare, aging and the green transition while grappling with a rising budget deficit. So stay with us for The Bottom Line as we speak with the leading experts who will break down what's at stake. The Polish government wants the European Commission to greenlight a mechanism which would enable the country to subsidize old coal power plants while new ones burning natural gas are being constructed. Deputy Minister of Climate and Environment Miłosz Motyka said that this is an essential part of an equitable transformation.
These are primarily investments in gas blocks. This is an extension of the operation of 200-plus blocks, i.e. coal blocks. This is an extension of the power market mechanism, the introduction of a separate mechanism within the framework of gas power market at the European level. We will certainly start this kind of discussion at the level of the European Commission. This energy transition will either be done in a fair way, giving these blocks a chance to function and the workers a fair transition, probably to other companies or to this sector, or it will not happen at all.
Close to a whopping 12 billion euros. That's how much a Belarusian producer has demanded from Lithuania for halting fertilizer transit through the country. The suit was filed in an arbitration court in Switzerland. The case dates back to January 2022, when Vilnius declared an agreement on cargo transportation between Lithuanian Railways and state-owned Belarus Skaldi invalid. The Belarusian company decided to roll out legal cannons against Lithuania over a year later. On Tuesday, Lithuanian Prime Minister Gintauskas Paluckas dubbed Minsk's move an instrument of political pressure, adding that withholding transit was the right thing to do. Belarus is one of the largest producers and exporters of mineral fertilizers, accounting for 1/5 of the world's potash production, according to the International Fertilizer Association. Despite some high-profile closures in 2024, international companies are still drawn to Poland, led by a reliable pipeline of skilled professionals. The latest example is the food company Danone, which has chosen Katowice as the new home of its multi-country planning center.
This is Danone's brand new planning center. Its job to oversee 26 factories across 9 countries.
We will be accountable for an end-to-end process of planning, starting with demand and finishing with scheduling the productions in our factories.
Facilities from Spain to Romania will now report to this branch of Danone in Katowice. The question remains, why here?
The decision to allocate and to relocate to Katowice was driven by the access to the right competency. So one element is, of course, the ability to properly accommodate such a sizable organization. The other is the proximity to the right universities, so that we can as well source talents in the future.
The opening of this hub brings about 180 new jobs, with recruitment efforts focused on tapping the surrounding talent pool. Katowice is not an exception. Similar planning and shared services centers gravitate to Polish cities like Warsaw, Gdańsk, Poznań, Wrocław, Katowice and Kraków, all known for their strong academic foundations.
All of them are very big groupings of university and academic centers of excellence, and this creates opportunity for a large group of enterprises to tap to that market, to get that human capital.
According to ARAC, Poland's position is unique in Europe, thanks to multiple urban and academic centers.
Poland is a polycentric country, so we don't have we have one dominating economy, which is Warsaw. So you have most companies being registered in Warsaw, most of the GDP is being created in Warsaw. But in terms of the number of people living, the university centers, the academic development, it's not only Warsaw as an important.
A total of 54 service centers were opened in Poland in 2024.
And that is all for our business news updates today. For more business stories, check out tvpworld.com.